gets the spear down onto Bok, but there's no damage to kill Bok. Bok's going to be more than fine. Liquid, they've just got to back away. As again, Cold Embrace used it onto Quoitfer, but Quoitfer looking still pretty dead. There's no escape for the Mars. Quoitfer goes down. The rest of Liquid desperately running out of here, as the rest will make it away. And again, just TNC having the smoothest of times here. 9-5 at 19 minutes in. Not a lot of kills, but a whole lot of money here. 10K lead for TNC at this early point of the game.
Oh, and this is not metaphorical. This is not philosophical. They have literally no damage on the side of Liquid. And this is... okay, go. Cast all your spells now on Gabby.
He just did! He's ready to dive into the high ground. They've got the catch on Incendia. The Chrono comes out. They've got the tower hitting as well in onto Gabby. Can they kill him? They can.
Okay.
Laguna comes down. They will manage to punish Gabby. What more can they get out of this? With the arrow in.
Spear vessel charges.
Bok. Being healed up as well by the Sunray. Quoitfer is going to be able to spear Bok back. Bok still alive. Finally goes down to the crash here as Liquid will take him down. See if Liquid can chase any more here. McKay. He's got his eyes on Boomy. Time dilation, but the Supernova's coming out. Armel, seeing if he can turn. Quoitfer's managed to catch the two of them in the arena. The Supernova will hold them back momentarily, but still, Liquid's able to push on, take down Boomy. Look towards Armel. Armel, he'll fall for the first time. See if they can take him out again as they'll set up around the Aegis. There'll be a buyback from Boomy coming into play as they want to try and help out their TA. The one lone tree standing there, enough for Quoitfer to pin Armel in his place. And they're going for everything here. They need to, Liquid. They've got to make as much as they can happen with this fortune that's sort of been handed to them there, as Liquid do manage to kick back here off the back of Gabby, going for a bit of a high ground dive on the Axe.
That was the perfect chrono placement as Sumail was right on the outside. I don't even have time to talk here as we're seeing even more action.
Quoitfer's still going. He's able to get in and take down Tim's. TNC, they should be able to chase and punish him for this. The battle hunger upon him. There's no help coming in for Quoitfer, so Gabby and Bok and Boomy will manage to get this Mars out of the game.
That's space. Side lane's getting pushed out. Mickey going back for the Maelstrom makes sense. It's just order of items. If he had had a Maelstrom for that fight, he wouldn't have survived the initials jump by TNC. And he chronoed where the Lina and the tier 3 tower were right outside, and that was what it required to bring down Gabby on the Axe. And hey, that might be the beginning of the comeback for Liquid. By no means is their team incapable of making plays. Just that bonus damage from the tower, and now with a couple Spirit Vessel charges on Taiga, that first kill was so important to helping them bring down Bok as well, and now they will have the damage as long as the cores of TNC do not have BKB available. One charge left.
No, for sure. I mean, as much as I like to see a good dive, I think for TNC's sake, Gabby's going to have to try and restrain himself a little bit more next time round. And those moves indeed giving a bit of a chance here for Liquid. That 10K lead that TNC had, nearly getting half there off the back of that last team fight.
Once they start building into damage items, I assume Sumail will go for the MKB build. Yes, he has it queued up. And he's also got the Boots of Travel, so that should help them get outside of base if TNC elects to try to take over the triangle and control the Roche area, which that MKB, super value against all three cores, especially the DK and the Axe, who are high armor targets, will get chunked through by that magic damage. Boots of Travel across the board, though. I like this by Gabby. Usually, if you think the opponent's only way back out on the map is Boots of Travel, you want one core with kill threat to also have Boots of Travel of their own to make sure you shut that down.
No, for sure, yeah, and Gabby, an excellent one to do it, having that catch potential up top. Liquid setting up behind Mickey there, maybe preparing for a move to be made onto the Void, but it isn't coming here from TNC. TNC keeping themselves close together as a unit around the mid lane. Armel, few hundred gold off having the completed BKB as TA. Still a bit of time for Gabby until he can get his. Armel, once he's got the BKB, he'll have much less of a problem getting in on these squishy heroes of Liquid uninterrupted if those ultimates are down.
Radiant are scanning.
I wonder if there's ever going to be a Shiva's Guard coming out from Liquid. I guess it would probably be Sumail after the MKB. I'm just thinking of heal reduction. They don't have a Scotty builder per se. After the Maelstrom, Mickey could consider it, but it looks like he's worried about his own life before he's worried about taking the opponents as he queues up the Satanic. I don't blame him. We're seeing what's happening in the fights. He's also getting called. He's not generally getting stunned. So that means the Satanic goes up in value.
Oh, for sure, yeah. If Mickey can play to the survivability elements of the hero, he's going to have a chance of sort of pushing on, being that frontliner for Sumail to sit back, get multiple rounds of his abilities off in the team fights. And we'll see what TNC's move is going to be next, as they're now back to building up that lead. Again, when sort of the calm returns here between these two sides, TNC still able to clean up the map much more efficiently than Liquid can right now.
I never thought I'd see the day where both supports on the same team have a holy locket, Owen. Phoenix and the Enchantress.
That's true, that item it used to be a bit of a meme, but indeed no longer. No longer at all, especially on these two heroes that do have those strong healing-based spells to really buff up.
Yeah, the fact that you can give the charges to someone else just makes it that much more insane, because the guy that you don't want to focus these heal supports in the back because they're also so beefy themselves. So your goal would be to put it all on one guy, but then they're also able to put all their heals on one guy.
Yeah, and especially when the heroes that you're backing up as Tims and Boomy are, as beefy as they are, you're always going to get the chance to get those clutch saves off onto Bok and Gabby. Already with a lot of inbuilt sustain themselves. These are not easy heroes at all for Liquid to kill, as we have seen so far this game. The struggles have been real for Liquid, only really getting a chance to capitalize on the over-aggression of TNC. Outside of that, Liquid not being able to make too many moves themselves.
Centaur alone is a huge threat, because it just means the opponent sees you. And Liquid has that one ward to work with in their own triangle, and also the one ward near mid-tier 2 of Dire. But here we see Murano ulti. This is the information game I was talking about. Hopefully Liquid can use it to their advantage right now, as they are down by 10k. Roche is going to be spawning quite soon.
Let's see if Liquid can get them by surprise. Boomy is going to head up. Sentry's going to be dropped down. Boomy's going to see everything. He'll die for this. As Liquid just quickly, they just take the Enchantress's life. They know that he would be giving the info for the rest of the team, so just take what they were given. Does mean, of course, though, for TNC overall, they'll be rather happy with that one. Only losing an Enchantress to this move that Liquid were
Re-smoke.
Jump on Bok. It's going to be speared pretty deep. He is going to get the chance to easily pop that BKB, though. Liquid, what do they do now? They've sort of revealed themselves on a second attempt onto Bok. They're still hanging around the area. Liquid, they've got to start backing off. Even against just the 4 of TNC, it's very hard for Liquid to make moves.
Super late Roche spawn, and Liquid's like, come on, can't just a break here. 20 seconds on the Enchantress. That is the target that TNC purposely offered up, as Liquid's quite familiar with the role of the Enchantress on the map at this stage in the game, as you use your creep as well as your own body to face check wherever you think the opponent may be coming from. And you can see that Liquid knows exactly how impactful that Enchantress kill was, where they needed to smoke again to feel like they got enough out of it. As now it's TNC's turn, Enchantress is respawning, will most likely be able to connect to the fight. Probably going to try to de-ward around the area that he did get ganked. Pretty smart of him to help set up for the Roche. The thing about Liquid's lineup is they don't take Roche particularly fast, so TNC is now sitting up on bottom, assuming that someone on Liquid is going to feel pressured to go defend and push out the bottom lane. Most likely would be Sumail, because he's the one with boots of travel that would be able to rejoin the Roche area. And this Axe, these Axe illusions, it is so valuable. You can't put a gold value on heroes that can clear waves. All 3 waves, like Naga and Terrorblade, are generally the only heroes that can do it before this Axe carry without having to put themselves at risk at all.
I think one of the great things as well about the Axe carries, let's be honest, Brian, would you rather be playing Axe carry, Naga, or Terrorblade? No, Axe for the fun factor, for the player. Axe has got to be at the top of the list.
Absolutely. No, I purposely took this patch as an excuse to finally get to play some Axe carry in those party queue games, and I still thought it was a meme even though it worked, but apparently it is not.
Oh, it's looking very good here. Coming up to 19k net worth, some insane farm on Gabby. Sumail, he steps out to clear a wave. They're ready and waiting. They get the jump on him straight away. Sumail's on. He was not ready for that.
Exactly what they were waiting for. they were so patient. Like, the Liquid sees 2 heroes top, and TNC was still patiently waiting bottom.
Well, Boomy, we'll catch him. TPs are coming in. Boomy, he's still alive. miCKe will drop the chrono. He's caught Armel, but Armel already got the BKB off. He's got the reflection as well. Literally no damage, Brian. Literally no damage done throughout the duration of that chrono. Armel's still full HP. A Winter's Curse, but for what? Gabby, he's in with the call. He's called Sumail again. He's got Sumail on speed dial. Both times, Sumail just out of action. He pulled back for that as well. miCKe's dead. Sumail's out and down for 90 seconds. Insana, he's not making it out either. Gabby's still got credit to play with as he makes another. Takes out, 4 of them here. It's 15k lead now for TNC. After a fight like that, Liquid's going to be sort of licking their wounds, and I don't think they could do much more than that, Brian.
Yeah, this game was consistently one fight away from TNC just breaking open the map once again, as they kind of had to recover what they lost diving the tier 3 towers. And you can just tell when TNC sees a target like this bottom, you go on them, they die. When Liquid sees a target, maybe you have 4 heroes and you're not sure if they're gonna die. And that just never, it's almost impossible at this level of play when one team's executing on that much easier of a minimum threshold to kill somebody comparatively.
There we go, straight up to the base. Still 30 seconds, no Sumail. miCKe will be back up, but of course no chrono. And even when that's there, as we've seen, not a whole lot to be done with it whatsoever. Of how far behind Liquid are as TNC. Let's bottom up. Gabby's in again. Another catch, another kill. Insania's out. I mean, they're going to have to probably call it soon, otherwise, no, Gabby's kills, they're going to shoot through the roof. What are they doing?
Gabby that's going to be calling next.
That's true. I think you might be right with that one. They're going to buy back here, but they've got to watch out for this Axe. Quite for pots the BKB. They get the arrow onto Armel. Armel, of course, still has that Aegis. I'll be able to blow him up the once, but he's ready for round 2. Gabby jumping into Sumail. Sumail this time able to keep the distance. Pots the BKB, starts to turn. They use the curse. Stun comes out from Sumail. At the end of the day, that just stops Armel from being able to do any damage to Gabby. Armel getting fully focused here in the ring. He gets the BKB in the refraction. Armel's still alive. He's stepping away. Armel, he's going to live. He's getting healed up by Boomy. They can't kill the TA. miCKe's silenced. miCKe's gone. Coming in with the double buybacks here, Liquid. But TNC, they're continuing to roll on as Gabby's in again with another call. Tiger, Quaifer out of action. miCKe as well. They got to call it. They really have. And there it goes. GG. As TNC 25-11, 32 minutes at 33k net worth lead. My goodness, they come in with another showstopper of a performance. And unfortunately for Liquid, Brian, I guess this is just kind of what we've come to expect to see from them here at this major. Another very disappointing showing here for Liquid in this game 1.
Yeah, that was a first round TA, and they didn't even have the tools to kill him, as it seems like you have the damage over time from the Wyvern, as well as the burst damage to follow it up once you remove that refraction. But the mid-game, there was just too much to deal with, too little resources to deal with it, and I would much rather be Gabby in that game hitting up the neutrals instead of miCKe feeling pressured immensely to get any sort of chrono action in the early game.
Absolutely, yeah. miCKe not having a fun time at all. 1-4-5. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Gabby 12, 2, and 10. I mean, Brian, as I said, we've seen these sort of performances from Liquid where they have struggled time after time here so far. I mean, going into game 2, we're just going to have to see a drastically different side to them if they're going to stand any chance here against TNC, because otherwise, things are going to get very messy again. TNC having a fantastic time here. I mean, how do Liquid even begin to pick themselves up after such a tough time so far at the major?
You just have to go back to the drawing board, and you got to do it quick, because these are not exactly surprise picks. We've seen the Axe and TA, or Axe all day, TA all tournament. Even DK offlane's been coming to fruition the last couple days, and you just have to have a better plan for these heroes. It seems like it makes sense when you go 1-to-1 on like the Wyvern dealing with the TA, the Mars dealing with just being able to lock them down in one area, but it's just not enough, and the overall game plan not going their way, and we'll have to hear what the panel has to say about game 1.
Thank you very much, Brian and ODPick. So yeah, TNC looking once again very strong here in this game. Axe carry once again looking very strong there in the hands of Gabby. Here with Jenkins, here with Tsunami. Jenkins, I'm going to start with you because you said you liked the draft of Team Liquid a little bit more.
Okay.
Why was this?
I will publicly apologize for this.
Thank you.
I was attempting to be edgy, picking the underdog. Okay, I'm gonna get my ass beat with these predictions, and so I went with the edgy choice. I admitted earlier today I was watching TNC replays all night. I'm a big fan of this team, and after this game, like I'm an even bigger fan. I like how quickly they're willing to just take the Axe carry and make it work for them. It's like this team feels just like free flowing. You know, it's like the only team they looked, I mean, LGD, like, I mean, that's a hard team to go up against. They lose to LGD pretty handedly, but like, other than that, TNC to me looks like such a goddamn good team. Just so good.
It's about time also. I think most people have been looking at the DPC rankings and being like, man, Southeast Asia is going to struggle to get even one team to TI.
Yeah.
That's what happens when your region's hyper-competitive. You can't just farm the same top team over and over again to get all these points. And TNC showing up. And this was one of those drafts where you didn't just learn about TNC, you learned about Dota this game, Jenkins. You were saying
I did.
heroes.
Okay.
Tell me, what are these theories?
There's a few things. So these are theories, and you know, I'm totally willing to
Of course,
be
we're just
wrong about
postulating
these.
here.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that I realized as this meta was adapting, I was looking at the games. I was thinking, okay, this is so different from what I've seen, like, you know, Quincy Crew do, and these like playoff teams. Like, this is very different from what I saw the playoffs teams do in the DPC. And so I thought for a while, okay, maybe this meta that we're seeing evolve. This is just wild card. This is just group stage. Wrong. I don't think it's like that. I think legitimately this picking two side lane tanky cores and then like a farming mid, I think that is the meta. I think if you tried to play some Void Spirit against this, and I think if you tried to play fast against this, I think you would lose. Because the problem is, if you have an Axe and a DK in a side lane, these heroes are too tanky to run around and chase and try to kill. And so you have this Axe farming in front of your face, and it's like, let's try to kill him. We saw them try to kill the Axe. It took 4 heroes, they killed him, and the gold lead went up.
Yeah.
They got gold for Axe dying. So we can see what happens when they try to play fast. You've got the Holy Lockets too that are coming in, making these tanky frontline heroes even more tanky. You've got these supports that are like the Phoenix that are able to take lanes when Axe goes and take Ancient stacks. I legitimately think what Liquid did wrong, and I think everybody backstage was agreeing, is that they didn't have a hero that could farm Ancients in stacks. They legitimately, I know it's ironic saying this with Liquid, they needed to stack.
Yeah.
They actually needed to stack more, but in order to stack, you have to adapt to this meta of having these tanky, frontlining, carry, offlaning, offlanes and carry. It's like weird, like a DK and Axe they're kind of the same hero. But I'm mind blown by how this meta has changed over the period of the group stages and the wild cards. I don't think this is just that. I think the playoffs are going to look exactly the same. This looks too good.
Okay, so that covers the cores. How do you feel about the supports? We're seeing more heal and save-oriented supports in this game. There was a lot of them. There was a Wyvern, a Phoenix, and an Enchantress. What's going to happen to these Lions and Shamans and more damage-dealing, crowd control, utility-oriented supports? Are they still have their place in this meta that you're conceiving, or not so much?
I think they have less of a place. I think having at least one support that can take a lane is really important. Because I think you're always going to draft some core that is able to take jungle, some core that's able to
Literally
take
no damage, by the way.
No damage.
Yeah, it's
Whenever this gank happened, Jenkins, you were like, oh, they can't kill. No, Fog was backstage was like, oh, it's a Dragon Knight, they can't kill him. And it was actually Enchantress. We just couldn't see it in the distance, but they all looked tanky. They all looked unkillable. And all these initiations that Liquid were attempting, it feels like Liquid were just ahead of their time, because the concept of stacking Ancients was Liquid through and through for all of 2020 and beginning of 2021. Donating the lane to your 4 position was something that was blowing people's minds in Season 1 of the DPC. Taiga would take over mid, and Koikfa would leave, and then Taiga would get like a massive level advantage on Enchantresses, especially in Season 2. So I think Liquid were just a little bit ahead of the meta.
I don't think that this is something... I was talking to Aoi about this the other night, actually, because we were both trying to figure out like why Nyx Assassin is so good. And this is not something that pros sit down with a pen and paper and theory craft and figure out, right? This is something that slowly... It slowly...
It develops, it evolves.
It evolves, yeah, right. Like you pick Nyx and it's like, oh, against these heroes it feels good. Okay, let's put Nyx higher up in our draft priority.
Keyword there, feels good.
Feeling, yeah, 100%. Feeling is, I mean, it's hard to like put words to it, but that's exactly why we're trying to break it down. And I think all of this stacking stuff works partly because of these holy lockets in Eon discs and tanky cores. I think all of these things play into each other. Like the fact that you have this tanky DK with the Phoenix that's behind that can save the DK. It's like you can't go on the DK or the Axe that's farming stacks because it's like a Wraith King with ulti.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen a Wraith King die at Ancients and then the team TPs in and then everybody just kills the people who come for the gank? It's the exact same thing with these tanky Axes and these tanky DKs. By the time you kill them, sure, maybe they die, but you're going to lose net worth. You're going to lose the fight because you've committed so much, and then the Holy Lockets play into that. Eon Discs, to me, this patch seems to be about disengage. Being able, and that's why Eon Disc is in every single game. Nigma, picking up on 4 heroes.
Yeah.
Holy Locket in every single game. DK Axe every single game. And that makes sense. Everybody's team fighting. So disengaging from team fights and taking better fights makes a lot of sense to me.
I'm on board with that.
So we're saying maybe Team Liquid was ahead of their time a while ago. I think TNC, one of the most impressive things is how they've evolved over these last 3 days.
So quick, yeah.
So quick. I feel like Team Liquid right now is like a solid step behind the meta, behind everybody else figuring things out. Is that a fair thing to say, a fair assessment to make after a game like this?
I think so. I mean, maybe like 2 steps behind. And I think it's hard to say what it is. Once again, it goes back to this like feel thing. Maybe it's some psychological element there. Maybe Boxy was more the guy that was open to these new crazy strategies. Maybe they're feeling a little tense. It's hard to say what exactly it is. But TNC, once again, like the fact that they're so free flowing means that they can play this stuff in games and get a feel for it. And then it's like that. I mean, that game looked just god tier from them.
Yes. Extra point of interest for people rooting for Team Liquid is that they are now with this loss. They are 1-8.
Whoa.
If you lose 9 games, you're out. Like right now, they have a hope for tiebreakers, I believe. But if they lose the next game, which I mean, with that first game, it was pretty convincing for TNC, guys. I feel like you should be a little worried there for you guys.
And things don't get easier because they'll go up against Spirit after this.
Yes.
And then EG tomorrow.
EG tomorrow.
So
can't lose any more games.
that is terrifying.
If there was ever a backs against the rope, that's when the real team comes. This is it. This is it. They gotta step it up. They gotta try something to turn the tides, but TNC, I don't think they're gonna make it easy for them because they look on fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I came into this tournament completely NA-biased. I was saying in my head, I was like, okay, Jenkins, don't be NA-biased. You don't want to be the guy that appears to be NA-biased. You know, because it's like all these years of Europeans coming into stream chat saying your MMR is worse than mine, your pub suck, all of that stuff. I was like, oh yeah, you know, the last major made me realize all of the regions are very equal, but then I was still NA-biased, of course, because I want to see my boys win. I love this TNC team. I love this LGD team. I think I'm actually just China and SEA biased now. Legitimately.
Good Dota bias,
Yeah.
and they play the best.
They've 100% won me over, and I'm sure they've won over so many other fans because I was just disgustingly biased coming into this, and anybody else who was probably switched as well.
Was there anything that gave you pause after the Singapore major where you were like, okay, you won 1 major. I'm not quite convinced yet, though. Your region still has a little bit more to prove. I think that just, yeah, sure, 2 podium finishes because they got 1st and 3rd in China. But I guess your NA also got 2nd, so then you're like,
Yeah, it's like, you know, China pretty good, NA pretty good. We're both about at the same level. Either of us could have taken that, but now it's like, bro, I want LGD to win. I mean, they're so much fun. TNC as well. Probably my favorite team, to be honest. I was not supposed to be biased, but they're winning me over like with these games at the majors. So.
Yeah, and we've only seen a percentage of them because T1's going to show up in playoffs, which during the DPC, I actually consider TNC to be stronger than T1, but T1 have my favorite support duo in Southeast Asia with Whitemon and Zephyr. And so, for the most part, I've been impressed with TNC's cores. Obviously, their supports have been fantastic, but Armel was my favorite mid in all of Southeast Asia. He's been a surgeon throughout this entire tournament. And if they're able to put on shows like taking LGD's carry axe, then I have no doubts that they're going to be able to continue that.
I mean, you're talking about adaptation, right? In terms of how a team evolves. TNC played this morning, first series of the day, first game of the day, or second game of the day. They played against that carry axe. They felt Ame's axe, and they're like, okay, we got 2 hours. Let's see if we can implement this. I don't know.
One pub.
They play one pub maybe, right? And then they pull it out themselves confidently and rightfully so. Gabi crushed it.
The cojones on these gentlemen.
But like they adapt so fast.
Yeah.
That's what
impressive.
you need to do when there's a group stage with so many games in such short amount of time.
And it's one of those things. It's so strange. Like Brian was saying while he was casting, you play like 5 pubs with this, and you're still like, oh, I won every time, but it's still a meme.
Yeah, but
Because
you still don't know why.
Because it's so weird. Carry Axe. I mean, I feel like all I have to say is the words together, and anybody like 2 years ago would be like, is he having an aneurysm?
Especially after the D patch, I thought like, okay, it was kind of a meme from the off lane.
Yeah.
D patch, you
And
could
they
get
got
away with it. And then
nerfed.
it gets nerfed, and then I was like, okay, well, I don't know, maybe now if you get a second Roche, then it's viable, but LGD, no cares.
No cares indeed. TNC, they are in the same boat in a way as Team Liquid in the sense that they both need top 6 if they want to have a shot at making it 2TI based on points. I'd say they have a really good shot at that if they keep playing like they just did. We're going to find out if they keep playing like they just did right now. First, though, it's Game 2 coming your way. We got the draft about to be ready. And Team Liquid on the Dire side this time around. We got Team TNC on the Radiant side. And unfortunately for Team Liquid, I mean, if this is the game to win, right? So if they don't win every single game from this point onward,
Game over.
game over. So you go to comfort. What do you do? Do you actually, no, do you go either for comfort or do you go for let's play what everybody else has been playing because apparently it's good?
Okay, so they have a tanky offlaner, most popular one in the entire patch.
Yep.
I think Phoenix and Enchantress are both in their arsenal. Oh man,
I mean,
ruthless.
Okay.
Ruthless.
Okay, TNC, let's relax.
everything we just
Please.
said. First, okay, no, thing. Ancient Depression still in the pool.
Okay, yeah, actually, not a bad idea. Broodmother's still in the pool as well, but maybe not a first phase kind of thing.
No.
Honestly, if I was Team Liquid at this point and you have to win out to get into the playoffs, I would just pick something crazy, like just reinvent Dota, because I don't think you're gonna win out by just now picking like the meta stuff.
Yeah, it's too late.
And figuring it out. Yeah, it's like you're not just gonna be better at everybody else who's been doing the meta stuff.
Yeah, you're playing against a team that has, first of all, has got 2 games over you in terms of how many games of experience in the group stage they have, right? As Team Liquid still has their second series of the day after this one. And you're playing against a team that has already been playing the better style of Dota, so you gotta be a step ahead or try something out of the box. We got them banning out the Razor and DK, so they do have the trend there. Get rid of the other tanky cores. We got on the side of TNC banning out the Troll and the Ursa. Decent to deal with the Axe.
10 seconds.
But they ban out, they pick up a TA. And I got nothing against the Samael TA,
I do.
but I got something against the Samael TA.
Okay. I see.
Like, if you're gonna go for, like,
It can,
I feel like this is old.
It is. And one of the critiques that we had, at least in Game 1, is that Liquid were lacking a hero that were capable of taking stacks.
Yeah.
So this falls into the paradigm of, okay, Sumail leaves the lane. Taiga comes by, gets up some experience. So perhaps give him Enchantress, maybe? It's not like...
It's banned.
Oh, it is banned.
Yeah, that's a good ban, honestly. This Holy Locket build on her just seems just toxic, man. Just toxic. Same with on Phoenix. Obviously that goes through. You can't ban everything.
Hey, with Holy Lockets and heals and stuff being really good, whatever happened? Like, I know Axe is there, but don't you want Dazzle? Why is Dazzle bad, but the rest of the healing hero is good? I know it's a little off topic, but
if Dazzle does come back into the meta, I think it will be with Holy Locket.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that. I think the Dazzle is just too bad of a hero, and the only reason people ever pick it is to clear PL illusions because of the Ag Shard. That's about Dazzle's only current niche as it stands. But I think you're right. I think Holy Locket would be the build.
And also, this is still very fresh. Like, backstage...
It's today.
Fog,
Yeah.
It's literally today.
It's literally
like,
today.
wildcards were not like this. Wildcards were not so heal-oriented, sustain-oriented, because Fog and I were wondering, like, where's Underlord right now? You want percentage-based damage. You want to deal with people who are consistently tanky, then go for someone who can scale like an Underlord. But things are still, it's an open wound right now that people are trying to close up.
Yep. Clockwork coming out.
You know, a great, tanky, beefy hero.
No Jenkins, no Pudge.
would
It has a
be the
great
no
save,
Pudge.
too.
two of the best saves in the game in
Yeah.
Hook and Dismember now with the Ag Shard.
Although,
Talking about Pudge.
talking about saves, Abaddon was a Liquid favorite for a long time.
Oh, people, that hero's completely fallen off, actually.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. It should definitely not fall off that hard. I think it's a great hero.
Yeah. I'm not convinced about Snapfire these days.
But
No.
the issue with ABBA is not really a support that takes a lane very
10
well.
seconds
What, are you
remaining.
going to
true.
shield the creep wave?
Fair
So
point.
these Phoenixes, you know, I thought the Phoenixes at the start of the patch were really good, these Phoenix Lina type supports, because there's so many little tree paths now, and also towers have, the TP range is so large that it's really dangerous to split push side lanes. And so picking these heroes like Lina and Leshrac and Phoenix that can do it so quickly and run through the trees and be so annoying, I thought that was going to come into the meta. So maybe that's part of it, is that the split pushing on these heroes feels super viable. We see it a lot on Leshrac. They just run down side lanes and feed. And it-
Sound like you want some Quincy Crew hoodwink to show up.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Hell
about.
yeah.
You want
Let's
trees,
go.
you want split push.
Let's do it.
I feel like Liquid are just picking the Snapfire as a Phoenix answer. They want to shred down the egg, because otherwise, I mean, it's a comfort hero for them, but I don't really know what else the hero is supposed to be doing here.
Speaking of comfort, they look pretty comfortable in their chairs. Secret lab chairs. Good chairs.
Oh yeah, they lounging.
They're lounging.
What does it say
They're
on the
good
back
lounging
of
chair.
TNC's Ian?
It's a
His
Titan.
His name is
Oh,
Ian.
Titan.
No, it's
No,
like
that's their manager.
there's
Ian.
like different chairs. And one of them is the Titan. I think the Titan
doubt
is the,
that.
like the
I met
broadest
him-
chair.
I met him at the. I had a Diet Pepsi and he knocked it out of my hand.
Oh, Ian.
Wow.
He's so crazy.
Ian
Oh,
is such
Ian.
a crazy guy. I mean, you know, what can you do?
All right, Liquid, who do you want to answer?
It takes a long time here. I kind of feel like maybe they wanted to have the Leshrac and it got stolen from them. It's one of Mickey's comforts. But I guess the question is, do you want to pick Mickey's hero here, or are you going for either Taigas or Insanias? They played Snap on both position 4 and 5. We had the Taiga hero Marana last pick last game.
Could
didn't
go
work
for
out.
Faceless Void again. It would kind of justify the Snapfire a little bit more for me.
I still, even with Snap, I think with Faceless Void, you kind of lack damage.
Yup.
Maybe, am I crazy for saying that with the Snapfire? I don't think the Snap ult is enough anymore. It just feels like with Phoenix in every game,
You need burst.
you really need a lot to deal with that, and the Holy Lockets and the spell lifesteal items now. And they go for the Lone Druid.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Against
That's
Phoenix. Against Phoenix, who can shred the bear
It's okay.
with Sunray.
It's okay, Jenkins. Please tell me it's gonna be okay.
I'm so sorry, Tsunami.
Wow, okay.
Sorry.
What, Shiva?
I am.
What is it?
What's on your mind?
Hello?
Turn to ban.
Speak to me with these paws. Do some.
You're lucky
oh,
there's no
yeah, I know.
there's no like
I
close-up
know.
camera shot. The look of disappointment in your face is palpable.
It's just, I just really wanted them to pick something relatively normal and good. We've not seen Lone Druid work this entire major. Actually, did Matu win his game with Lone Druid? No, right?
I don't know. That's a
It's a wild card. They got knockout team, so
Who cares?
Let me tell you, is China playing Lone Druid? Is Southeast Asia
Yeah.
playing Lone Druid?
exactly. I think there's like that's your answer, right? I know Koikfa and Matu are like top tier Lone Druid players,
For sure.
and a lot of people would say in the world, but you can now kind of say in Europe, and it's like, why? There must be like, do they feel like there's something inherently really good for a Lone Druid to deal with on the side of TNC? Like, is there something that it like hard counters?
No. There's okay. Either this is just complete comfort, or you're picking this to actually combo with something else. They could go with maybe
What's the combo with?
a puck, break the coil,
Yeah, where does TA go then?
safe lane.
Yeah, we could. Mickey has played puck.
Yeah,
Mickey plays a lot of puck,
he
so
does play
That's
puck.
true.
that could be it. And I feel like when you do put Koikfa on the Lone Druid, you are gonna treat it a little bit more as a core. So
Like
you
a
want to
carry,
have like Mickey on a more active hero that doesn't maybe need as much space.
Sure.
later on. I'm trying to, you know, some positive things in here
Very
for the
reasonable.
lone druid.
Yeah, of course.
But I think TNC is.
Wait, but then the
looking
question is,
good
where does
so
the
far.
Mars go? I feel like you have all 3 of your
Oh,
cores on
you
Liquid.
are correct.
Yeah, you are
That
correct.
is definitely a hero we ignore. Oh no. We're just so used to seeing it. It's like blank to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mars is just in every single game.
They need an Insania hero?
Yeah, unless they're picking Mars support.
Quincy Crew did run Mars 5 for
10
quite a few
seconds
games
remaining.
in NA, but
Hey,
that
they
was
may be
2 months
picking it.
ago.
Insane.
5 seconds remaining.
Wyvern?
I mean, we got the AA still banned, no surprise.
Yeah.
Shadow Demon also banned. TNC is definitely on the money there,
Yeah,
thinking
actually,
that it's going to be an Insania or Taiga Hero last, because we have seen Insania play Snapfire as well.
He has. In fact, I think he's been playing more this major than
Yes.
Taiga has.
So is there any kind of... Willow is still in the pool? Lion. Wow.
They're scrambling.
We saw Lion very successful at the start of the group stages.
but-
Day 1.
You know,
We're now on day 3. It
Okay.
Times have changed. We are older and wiser now.
yeah.
it feels like forever ago, but
10
it is
seconds
burst.
remaining.
It is burst against a bunch
True.
of healing and tanky heroes, so maybe
5
Yeah.
that's
seconds remaining.
the solution.
don't
Yeah,
know
because the Laguna Blade last game worked out so great.
Yes, of course it did. My gut says for TNC they're gonna pick some other semi carry. It seems like it's such a strong meta to have once again these holy lockets, impossible to kill heroes, and everybody kind of scales to be decent as we see the draft in all its glory.
So do you want a Bach hero? Where do you want this axe?
Yeah, that is the only issue is that
I want Gabby Axe.
I do want Gabby Axe.
Okay.
And I want Armel Lesh.
Yeah.
But I could see Bach going Lesh and getting the sort of Greaves style of build.
He can play a Mag. Or Viper still?
Yeah,
Oh,
Mag
Viper's
Viper's still
banned.
banned.
cool. Viper's banned.
Legion still in the pool. Not very
yeah.
popular these
so we
days.
need-
Oh, you know what? In game 2 that they played against EG, he played Night Stalker. Loved that. It didn't win, but it looked very good.
Good. I mean, good Night Stalker game.
Bristleback.
Bristleback.
Okay. Another tanky boy.
Well, very good against the Lone Druid Bear. It's you can't get anything that's going to purge the bristle stacks other than BK. Then you have a BKB on the bear if you go for that item.
Mickey Mars.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Gabby Axe again. Yeah, I don't think there's anything surprising coming out. I think Tsunami. I know he really likes TNC, but at the moment he is basically.
I don't want a team to
Imitating
be
all the
eliminated
Team Liquid
already.
fans.
I want the tie breaks. I want the drama. I want it saved for the last day. But Liquid are just in shambles, man.
It happens. It happens to the best of us, you know. And they're up against a Goliath
Yeah,
team.
they are.
What an improvement from TNC. These guys are looking scary.
They really do. Okay, so we all like TNC's draft a little bit more. For Team Liquid, what needs to happen for them to have a good game? Like, is there anyone in particular? Obviously, Koifa's Lone Druid. He's gonna need some time. Who's gonna buy that time? Who has to pop off?
Everybody.
Mickey on the Mars, you know,
Yeah.
you can run this hero around with the supports, get some action going for sure. If Sumail has a good game, which, you know, one of the best laners in the world. Of course, he is against Armel.
Yeah, you're right, Jenkins. By golly, they're gonna do it. I'm saying Liquid. Game 2, for the love of God, please. Please!
Well, let's see if they can do it. We're heading over to our commentary duo of BSJ and OD Pixel. What do you guys think?
Thank you, Sheever. If there's anyone that's familiar with being on the face of elimination before it's even over, that's Jenkins for you. And I can feel Neil's pain all the way from up here, having to sit next to him for that entire panel. And OD Pixel, I'm excited for Game 2 as we get to see the Lone Druid played more as a carry for Quaifa, not so much as the offlane as Mickey takes over the Mars.
Yeah, a bit of a different dynamic compared to that other day where we saw Quaifa play the Lone Druid whilst Mickey played the Monkey King. So, yeah, indeed, a lot more chance for Quaifa to be that carry sort of player here, really, for Liquid, and a bit of a change of priority for their cause. Is it going to work, though? I don't know. I'm seeing some problems up ahead again. You know, TNC feeling as confident as they should be after that game 1, slapping out that Gabby Axe. first up in the draft. And then little things like down the line, getting this Armel Leshrac. You know, this is one of those heroes that can cause a lot of issues for the TA in the mid-game fights. It's not going to be another easy game for Sumail. The pressure's on for him.
I like the Bristleback pick a lot because Lone Druid and TA, they want to just be standing their ground hitting people, and most heroes in the game can't tank through that amount of damage without having to retreat, and that's when they really get the best of you. But Bristleback, he is not going to be turning his back to these heroes. He's going to be running straight at him. The one fortunate thing to have is the way that Mars Spear works, is when you do spear someone to a target, it turns him around. So they can use that to manipulate what direction he is facing and potentially burst him despite the tanky passive. I'm curious, it's a similar game plan for TNC, right? 3 very survivable cores. A little bit different this game in the sense that the survivable cores are meant to kill you before you kill them, because you're dealing with a Leshrac as well as the Bristleback. With the Phoenix again behind, but at least they only have 1 heal support this time.
That's true. Yeah, no Boomy on the Ench this time. Boomy on something a little more aggressive in your face this time round. The clockwork coming out for him. And overall, you know, last game, we really did see, you know, Gabby ended the game, I think it was like, what, 12, 2 and 10 or something on this carry axe. This time round, you know, Liquid, they see it first. What do you think they've done this game that's going to, in their minds, make sure that Gabby doesn't have as good of a game as he did last time?
If they bring 3 or 4 heroes, somebody on TNC will die. They have a lot more damage. We're looking at the support duo from Team Liquid. We're comparing a Wyvern Mirana to that of a Lion plus Snapfire. When these ultimates are online, the Finger plus the Mortimer's Kisses, they will be going down. So I don't expect to see nearly as much hesitation from Liquid when they do see the desired target, because if the spells go off, they're going to be able to make it happen.
Look at the lane setups, of course. Bottom, Gabby. So backed up by Boomy against this Mickey and Insania duo. Obviously, Liquid as a team, they do flex a lot of the times between the core positions. We'll see if this works out. You know, clearly something they're trying whilst they're a bit on their sort of last hopes here at the major. And you know, with the setups, you know, Mickey, do you expect him to have a pretty good time? Is he going to be able to do something a bit more this time around when he's playing the Mars, do you think, this game?
Yeah. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders. Lone Druid and TA both like to farm for the first 15 minutes or so, and if he's able to rotate to them, then he'll get a bit of assistance from his cores. But there's just, you have to wait for the level 6s from the supports, but the problem with Mars is if you fall behind even slightly, we saw it with Ice 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 last series, you'll end up level 8 at 17 minutes into the game, and you can't... Mars, yes, he's an offlaner that's meant to be more teamfight utility, but he needs items to do his job. So they have quite a greedy lineup, and I'm not as much concerned about Mickey being able to get these plays done, but managing to get the farm that he needs to be effective past that early game.
For sure, we'll see how well he's able to transition out of the laning stage. Looking at the other lanes so far, mid, Armel 11 for 3 against the 13 for 1. Very close between these two. We'll see if this time around, you know, Sumail, see if he's able to achieve as much as Armel did last game when Armel was playing the TA. You know, we saw Armel get insane amounts of farm with preparation of the jungle. And it was the bottom lane, Mickey might be in trouble here. The Battle Hunger's going to tick him down pretty low. He should be fine though with the Tango regen, and indeed will just live, but some heavy pressure here already being applied by Gabby and Boomy. Up on the top half. I mean, this sort of the lane on the other side. Is this a lane where Quakefor can farm pretty freely? I mean, at what point is it very early that the Bristol is able to pose a threat to the Bear?
I don't think it's super early. I think it's going to be more so if he gets that Ags online and his ability to... it removes the cast time, and you can just continuously chase after it with the sticky or with the nasal goo. I don't think this lane is particularly bad for Lone Druid. The only issue I have is that usually what you use to beat Bristle in lane is the fact that he's spamming quills, which means you get stick charges, which means you can often use more mana to harass him. But Lone Druid makes no use of mana in the laning phase when it comes to trades. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of efficiency by Tims once again, dipping out of lane as often as possible to give Bach this solo experience. And he's already got the XP lead again. Lone Druid, a very low base armor hero, despite becoming super tanky later on. 0 base armor level 1, and you can see those quills adding up and hurting a lot.
Oh, for sure, lots of damage being done here already. Well, See on the bottom half, I think Boomy just checking out the state of this area. As you can see, nothing being stacked up quite yet by Liquid within their triangle. As that is going to be the difference really between the mid and bottom lane. Gabby is going to get caught by a nice spear here from Mickey. He gets Gabby under the tab, but Gabby manages to get the call off. And he's going to be able to step away. He's also got the Ring of Health and a few stick charges safe. To keep himself safe, and it's actually top plate. He's going to get both of them. Oh, alrighty. Tim's there, burning them up as they can't quite kill Bok. That's a catastrophe for the top lane of Liquid.
It's absolutely brutal, and they're going to make a really cool play where Bok has handed his bottle off to the Phoenix, who's going to walk all the way back to base, fill it up, and TB back in. So they're going to be able to run it right back. The only issue Bristleback tends to have in the early game is the regen. That's why we're seeing him a lot as a mid laner with all the runes changes. But this is effectively the same thing. You're going to have a bottle refill and also the charges that are coming out of base. As Gabby is going to take a little bit of damage bottom, but because Axe has such ridiculous base HP regen, that Ring of Health puts him at 14 HP regen. And I do feel like most safe laners this patch do have a lot of sustain issues in the early game, and I think that's another reason why Axe is so prevalent just immediately. We only started seeing it today, but it's suddenly been picked 4 times and it hasn't lost yet.
I think we might start to see a bit more if some other teams feel confident in running it. So far, so good here with the showings we've had. We'll see now over Liquid's side. Insanius starting to get the jungle prepared here for Sumail as he needs to do so. Sumail's got to hit some good timings this game. Armel is trying to scout him out, disrupt some of the farm here. Will manage to take a few of the creeps as well by the looks of it. Is he quite able to get the large ones? He is. Tiger, he's come across, but the Cookie's going to get nicely dodged by Armel. Armel, he's going to be able to turn, take down Tiger, will lose his life, but Sumail does as well. Tim's, he's just burning him down. He's going to run down Insania a little bit. Insania should be okay. Still has a Hex and a stun to offer up. Tim's no spells to throw out. But, I mean, honestly, I think we're going to see quite a fast level 6 here on Tim's this game, Brian, with these sort of kills that he's just cleaning up the XP in.
Yeah, and you're seeing what the Leshrac offers that the Lina doesn't. You'll never see the Lina on the TA side of the map invading his farm as Bok taking the immense amount of physical damage between the little Shredder and the Blightstone. Oh, the root. I don't think he would have gone down.
And he does it! Tiger dies!
The bear?
Oh, no! I mean, they'll get him. He'll have a bit of a smile on his face. They gets the solo XP, I guess, but Bok, those quills, I mean, you say he was taking the damage, so was Tiger and Quoifer there. The quill spray is stacking up, and Tiger losing his life there on their attempt to kill Bok.
Yeah, they both have 3 armor and 4 armor respectively, and the Armel, they have to take these stacks super early on the side of Liquid because he's already invading one side, taking stacks of his own, and then you've got a Vanguard Axe. Really good that Sumail's already moved his way towards the triangle because oftentimes you have maybe 10 to 11 minutes to safely take some stacks, but the ability for TNC to invade is ridiculous. And the issue I have this game is that whatever cores walk in lane, TA doesn't want to directly contest the Lesh. Nobody on the side of Liquid wants to directly contest the Bristleback. And then Axe is just going to be doing his own thing on the map, which means that most lane pressure will be in favor of TNC. And then you ask yourself, what are they going to do with that lane pressure? Well, they have a Leshrac. As you see, they're just going to shred these tier 1 towers and continue to walk from tower to tower. Liquid's going to have to put up a fight, but TA Lone Druid, they don't want to play this way. They want to be hitting creeps themselves, wait to get their early items up. These are item-dependent heroes in terms of their damage output, as opposed to the level-dependent heroes, something Kyle tends to talk about, one of the few things that I do closely listen.
And in this game, the thing is, when you start to see TNC move this quick, do you feel like, is this TA and Lone Druid duo core, is that maybe a little too much on the greedy side for Liquid when they're playing against a team like TNC?
Yeah, you can tell the greed. I think this is what Bristleback punishes, because the pressure he puts out is, he doesn't have to be able to kill you. He can just walk at you, and just with the Vanguard, no boots. It's going to be slow. He's going to be moseying his way there. But eventually, those lanes are going to get pushed in, and it's just a matter of time. It's like a ticking time bomb where you don't know when his team's going to make the move, but they get to pick and choose their battles unless you can bring this Bristle down, and that's just not the case. I talked about them having a lot more damage this game on the side of Liquid, but you need those ultimates from the supports. Lion and Snapfire aren't going to have those yet. And you can see the way that TNC's playing. Phoenix playing top, Axe jungling, Bristle showing mid. They're farming all 3 lanes and jungles of the map, and that's just... It's not that bad on the net worth, it looks like, but that's all on the TA of Sumail, which they have the tools to deal with. So if he goes down once, it could be disaster for Liquid.
So they will catch Boomy in the river here. Boomy trying to make the rounds, but you know, once again, as we saw in game 1, you know, Boomy, if he's the one dying, TNC as a whole will be pretty happy. There's space being created here for sure, as TNC's cores continue to go to work.
If they can turn maybe one crucial kill into a Roshan for the side of Liquid, that might be the ticket to give them the map momentum, because now suddenly TA's got that effect of being able to walk it lane survivably. Massive Ancient stack. One thing to mention about Axe carry is he can clear these. Most carries, other than maybe Sven, cannot do it this early on into the game. And Axe.
Gonna be beautiful.
So let's just check out his net worth, right? 4,500,
Yep.
10 minutes in. We're gonna see that shoot right up. That's beautiful. As a
Easy
carry
money
player,
here.
I know you can relate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is some lovely stuff for Gabby. This is the stuff he dreams of here.
Fog just thinking about all the gold he'd be getting from this stack.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Bok's going to be looking over with a tear in his eye. That could have been mine. I know Gabby taking the priority, of course, this game as the carry. And there it is. Stack cleaned up and a healthy burst of cash to his net worth there.
That was 900 gold. 11 minutes in. That's absurd.
No,
And Tim's is
keeping
just
it
getting so
clean.
much.
I mean, yeah, the levels on this Phoenix, this is going to be the problem for Liquid when they do try and go for this team fight with the arena and the kisses. Tim's presence is going to be so overwhelming. He gets in with a good egg, and they have to make sure the Tiger's ready with a little shredder, otherwise this egg's going to cause some issues for Liquid in the team fights. And with this Ancient stack being cleaned up and TNC able to just continue to push up the lanes, that little bit safer than that of Liquid. Whoa, oh, look at that, Boomy! What a lovely little escape there. Hook shot. Back to safety. He's out with the TP. They won't find him. This time, they can't even kill Boomy. He makes it away there with a fantastic hook shot.
They do have ultimates now on Team Liquid, so they have the damage if they manage to catch, but there's a pretty sick escape there. Mission Impossible style.
Yeah, right through the whole of them, straight over the neutrals. Now on the mid. Armel, he's going to get caught in the arena. They're going to try and use the combo. Yours is going to be able to dodge a fair few of the kiss of the Sunray Hill coming as well. Liquid, they just can't get the combo hitting quite right. Now look towards Bok instead. The finger, wasn't enough. They got the cookie in. Bok is still alive. They need one more hit on him. They're not going to be able to get it. Oh, they will. Somehow the trap damage will do it. They are able to turn as well and take down the air. This could be a chance for Liquid to try and turn things. But oh no, Gabby, he looks to be a bit too strong. He's already coming with the dunk onto Insania. He's going to turn over towards Quaitha. Turn with the bear, try and kite Gabby up. Quaitha keeping his distance, but not far enough. The call will still grab him. Some good side blades here from Somehow, bouncing over from Boomy to Gabby. Another route comes into play. Gabby will fall. Liquid, for sort of the first time in this series, are able to get a solid fight under their wings here.
I have to believe Game 1 bled a little bit into Game 2 here, as in Game 1, TNC could have done that exact thing, and Liquid couldn't have done anything about it because they had Chronosphere, as opposed to the Mars Arena, plus all the damage to boot, right? Once they catch Armel, yes, they didn't bring him down, but he's so much of the damage for TNC at this stage. Axe, until he gets that Manta plus Blink Dagger, yes, he represents a lot of damage, but it's so difficult for him to get in position to call that he effectively did nothing that fight. And Liquid, they have good sustained damage. All they need to be able to do is remove one or two heroes from the fight such that they can overwhelm them with numbers. And you see there, turning that into 4 for nothing. That was great for if you're a Liquid fan.
Yeah, so starting to switch it back into the even territory here. Less than 1k difference between the two teams. Liquid able to get some items done off the back of that. Mickey with Blink, Quaker with the Maelstrom. Liquid, they're going to look to see if they can ride this momentum straight into another play. They'll hit out with the smoke and start to look towards mid, see if they can get the catch on Armel potentially.
Yeah, I think everyone here, we're just rooting for Liquid to put up a fight, and we know they're better than this, and that's why it's just so disappointing to see what they've done so far. But yet at the same time, it's hard to believe, even with heroes like Lone Druid, that they'll make it happen. But I'm cautiously optimistic. They've shown some signs of life just recently, and let's turn it into more, baby. I want to see a close game that goes crazy with a bunch of 60-minute neutral items. That's what I'm looking forward to.
See if they can get it here as both teams catching side one another. In fact, Boomy, he gets a great angle straight in onto Quoifer, but Quoifer's going to get saved. He's cookied out of the cogs. They'll get Quoifer out of there. The kiss is coming in onto Boomy. Boomy will go down. It's Liquid. Can they get anything more out of this? Samel starting to lay down the traps. He's got his eyes on Arm out. So if they can close the gap, Insanius trying to charge in. Quoifer keeping the pressure in onto the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. So will manage to get this objective. TNC won't be able to hold this tower.
Yeah, until that X-Blink, Clock's the only way for the Gradient side to force a fight. So even though it doesn't look like really anything happened, as long as Clock's dead, Liquid can safely siege buildings with that Dragon Lance plus the level 10 talent from TA, as well as the Bear tanking the tower shots. He is going for the Spirit Vessel on Thames. That'll help them bring down the Lone Druid, but Mar is going to have a Yules probably by the time he gets that. This is on Sumail. This is what a lot of us expected going into the Major, that Liquid would be building around their substitute player, one of the best mid laners in history, and hasn't really shown that throughout the course of this. So I'd love to see them rally behind him in this game too.
See top. Insania. It's got the opening. Have they got enough burst with the finger? They do. Arena's going to get knocked down as well. Gabby's going to be held out to the side. He's going to try and get the call off onto Insania, but not quite able to get him range there with the Arena holding him back.
That just looked so funny, because usually you see people bouncing off the walls because they're coming from the inside, but he's like, let me in, damn it. That gave me the Shining vibes with Jack Nicholson.
Couldn't quite get there. As Gabby. Manta's now done, so the Blink's going to be flowing in pretty shortly. See Quoifer, of course, just continuing to play the catch-up game, trying to match up with the farm of Gabby and Armel. Armel now able to start building for the tankiness and getting that BKB up.
Those side blades hurt, man.
Smel's hitting hard, and he's playing a solid game so far. There are a few things that can cause issues for the TA in these fights, but only the one death so far in Samel as he confidently holds on to the top spot in net worth.
Axe, though, give it 3 minutes time, and he's a new hero.
No, that's very true. It's going to be about that time in this game. The amount of Ancients, I think he's barely missed an Ancient. Keeping this area of the map completely cleaned up every single minute. That's Boomy. He's got the catch on Insania. He's going to be able to get the cogs down, split up any potential backup. Insania he's trying to run, but there's a whole army chasing him down here. Armel, Bok, Boomy, and Tims. They'll get the job done. Insania's gone.
Can't imagine they turn that into anything. No tier 1 tower of their own mid, which makes it more difficult to siege the opponent mid tower, and you don't quite have the Roche damage to force anything, as Mickey is in the vicinity.
Bok. He's just charging into the jungle. I think he thinks he's a little more indestructible than he was there. Just goes for a little walk in the jungle of Liquid on his own. And, well, I don't think he'll be doing that again.
I think we need that voice line, I'm so strong from TNC, because that's what it looks like they think both of these games, as we saw Gabby in game 1 and now we see Bok in game 2. You just feeling yourself and thinking there's no way there's 4 heroes from Liquid on top of this hill, and then boom, there they are.
A nasty surprise for Bok. Samel is going to have the BKB done for the next fight. Liquid up with the smoke, seeing if they can get a hit in whilst the bristle is down. Ideally, looking for Armel.
It's going to be
tough.
tough.
This Lesh. See what they can catch here. Boomy in position to really block off any of these sort of movements.
Courier.
Now focus Boomy. That is going to give the information for Armel to step out to the side. The rest of TNC are coming in. So if they want to look for a fight, they do. Gabby blinking in aggressively. Insania able to hold him back with the Hex. Liquid being a bit more cautious now that they know that time's been brought here for TNC to turn up in full force. They're going to go for the Roche. I think TNC are going to want to do something about this. See what they can get done.
Blink Axe.
Whoa, Mickey. He's going to start the action. Gets the jump off, commits on to Gabby straight away. Can they blow up the axe into the fear? They've got the lockdown with the burst of the finger. They've done it. They bring down Gabby, but the Sunray will burn Mickey in return. Both teams dropping a core frontliner here for the potential team fight that he wants to get in there. He wants to try and stop them from finishing off this Roche, but Samael, he's making short work of it. They've got to make a move soon, TNC, if they want to try and stop this,
Nice
but the bear blocks the hook shot from Boomy. Samael, he's able to finish Roche, get the Aegis Tiger, Lil shreds down the Supernova. Will cost him his life. So if they can do anything more off the back of this, TNC doesn't look like it. Liquid, they're able to back away. Samael, he gets what he was looking for, gets that Aegis, and gets out alive.
Oh, hell yes.
Despite Liquid having difficulty making this lone druid work, I have seen some sick plays from Quakefa, and that was so important that he blocked that clock hook. He was almost timed it perfectly to hook in there with the flare vision, but I don't think he expected the bear. They purposely zoned the Lion, which was really good on the side of TNC, and Insania wasn't there long enough to tank the arrow himself, but getting exactly what they wanted out of it, suddenly we find ourselves with Liquid having a 2K net worth lead. All of that is on Sumail. So it really matters what he's going to be able to do with this Aegis, as it appears, is he going for the, full Mjolnir on Quakefa? Should expect to see him throwing that down on either the Mars or the TA. That is a lot of damage this game because of how many small instances of damage TNC has, Battery Assault, all of Phoenix spells, Leshrac spells. You should be getting a lot of valuable procs on that Mjolnir active.
Yeah, Brian, talk to me about this. We're seeing Samael. Actually, we'll top. Can they catch Boomy? No, they can't. The spear won't quite latch. Samael this game, prioritizing the Aghanims. He's going to be getting the Ags next after this BKB Death Zone.
That tells me that they are looking to control the map with this Aegis rather than anything like going high ground. Bit surprising. I think TA plus the Lone Druid could easily threaten the base if they elected to go for that timing. But this is saying that the rest of them will be able to play away from Sumail, such that they can split the map more efficiently and also look to catch out any cores on the side of TNC that are playing overly greedy, as we've seen them do a little bit so far.
Now, we'll see what sort of global moves Samael is going to be able to make with the Ags. He's very close to having it done, about 1,500 gold away. And this time, Tier 2 is being traded. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting approach. I mean, as you said, this game really sort of, Liquid obviously building around and playing around Samael's potential as a player. He's obviously got a good grasp of what needs to be done. And having this Ags and that ability to TP around the map between the traps, it might just be, what Samael feels can make the difference in an effort to sort of outplay the potential 5-man brawl that TNC is going to be running down lanes at Liquid with.
I'm going to say there's a little bit of discontinuity here, and this is the factor of having a stand-in, even if they've been playing together for most of DPC. Sumail's build tells me they're playing for map control and pickoffs, while Quakefa, instead of going for the Yules, went for a Vlad's, which tells me they're going to walk down lanes and fight and siege buildings, because that's what the aura is meant to do instead of the Yules, which will help them find people. So it just seems like they're on a different page. A lot of times I envision teams' lineups, their items synergize and come together for this grand old timing that they're going to hit, whether or not that's sieging high ground or forcing a team fight. And now, I think they're going to have to wait till the end of the Roche because of the way Sumail's built. I'm not blaming anyone in particular. I'm just not a huge fan of the way these items line up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different move that we'll see if it pays off. I mean, Liquid obviously currently having the lead, 14-9 2K in. We'll see what they're able to do with this approach and angle they're coming in into the game with at this stage. On the side of TNC, we're seeing any major items coming up soon. We're seeing Armel. He's going to be trying to get that Bloodstone online and put that damage, that tank ability. Bok, talking about Aghanims, he's very close to having his done. In fact, I think he might just have it complete. Yeah, he does. The Ags on Bristle is going to be on its way out here for the next fight. But Liquid, they're already looking to find the fight. They'll get the jump on Boomy. Once again, good old Boomy doing his job here for the team, tanking the smoke gank.
Yeah, now that Axe has a blink, the kill on Clock is not nearly as valuable because they can still force a fight on the side of TNC, and Clock would be able to buy back reactionarily, and that's why we're seeing Liquid be a little bit passive with this push, as no one on the side of TNC is really showing on the map, so theoretically they could all be here. But they have the Aegis on the TA, everyone else playing super safe. Well executed siege of the tier 2 there as TNC's looking to hit their timings. Armel just got his BKB. Gabby is about a recipe away from his. And those BKBs will be quite valuable because a lot of their heroes have built-in survivability tools like the Yules from the Lesh as well as the Call from the Axe against the TA. And then there's limited damage other than that when they're in their BKB.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And I mean, with the sort of approach from Liquid, does this sort of say to you that they aren't going to be in a rush to sort of end this one? They're you know, Sumail's now going to look to farm up his next, at least his next big item before they go and force any action.
You're asking me to analyze whether or not Axe out-carries this. Yeah, it's really hard to say in terms of who scales better in the late game. Looks like Liquid is content to do so. I just am not confident one way or the other who scales better because Lone Druid, not exactly a hard carry. TA is a semi-carry. You have kind of like 3 semi-carries on the side of TNC. Even Bristleback as an offlaner can be considered as such, as he has the Ag Scepter. So the AoE teamfight control, as the panel mentioned, the Bear has no way to get rid of that. So it should mitigate a lot of Quakefa's Bear's ability to get any right clicks in.
And Gabby just continues to keep excellent hold of the lanes with the illusions. Spot him, Sumail. He's going to try and just push in, just play for that split farm as far away from TNC as he possibly can be. Top lane, Mickey hiding in the trees. The rest of Liquid are heading over. See what they can do. They also do have a trap around, so Sumail with the Yags can look to join the fight. Ooh. As already, he's going to start making the moves up here, but Armel is into the trees. TNC will immediately move away from this, so no catch to be found here from Liquid attending the top lane.
Gabby has that BKB being delivered.
The next fight could be a bit scary here for Liquid if Gabby gets a good call. As they're going to look for it. Smoke up. TNC's ready to try and go for the jump themselves.
Aegis is out.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Taiga's got a blink of his own.
Top tower
See if he's able to make some sort of little cute saves. I mean, obviously, getting people out of the cogs with the cookie has been really the main focus here for Taiga in these fights when Boomy gets the catch. Look at the tower, Liquid, but still TNC just doing a good job of evading any unnecessary action at this point.
Yeah, I think this pace of the game is good for Liquid because Sumail, you're seeing the effect of this Ags. He's just playing away from his team, similar to like a Spectre. He can just be at the fight from any part, has the Daedalus queued up, or maybe just the casual Crystallis with the Satanic. He's joining.
There he is. They get the catch on Armel. Armel's going to get blown up straight away. Does not get the chance to pop his BKB. Gabby comes in with a call though. He's got the control on mid-game. Sumail turning over towards Gabby. Sumail takes some heavy damage here from the pure spins of Gabby. The Supernova's down. Liquid, they can't get in position to take down the egg. Tiger jumps in to looking for the kill on Boom. He does get it, but it costs him his life as Armel's able to come in with the cleanup. As Armel, with that buyback, able to turn the efforts around, pick up some kills in return. Now we'll look to run it down the mid lane. Fortification is up. McKay, of course, also buying back both teams. Buying back here on a core. TNC, they'll still be the ones to claim that mid tower. Roshan, it's going to be up in a minute and a half. So they have to keep their eyes on that. Sumail trying to force in bottom lane, going for the Satanic after this crit, so he has further tankiness. But I mean, he needs that. We saw there in that last engagement, you know, Gabby, the damage that he does do. Once those refractions do fall, it will shred any of these heroes.
Yeah, Paladin Sword. Sumail likes to take that, so maybe he can skip the Satanic. That could be a pretty value-neutral item when you factor with the Vlads from Mickey. Cloak of Flames on him, probably going to take the Titan Sliver over that. A lot of good neutral items on the Dire. I think Cloak of Flames pretty value on the Bear. Oh, the Elven Tunic on the Axe. I don't know how Miss works with the spin. If you attack and it procs a spin, but you miss, does it work? Might be detrimental.
Well, I don't know, but Brian, that's the sort of thing you'd know. You know all the mathematics.
I was about to say, I think I'm supposed to know.
You're saying,
asking the
is
person
there
that would
still a
usually ask me.
chance? Is there still a chance for you to spin? Yeah, if the hit misses. I want to say, I think
really
it's only if
don't
the
know.
hit lands on you. I think it's only if it lands on you. I think in the past it used to be when the attack was starting on you, but I think that's changed over the years. And it's
Yeah, you're
now
right.
if the
It
hit
was
lands
on
there.
attack trigger rather than the attack
Yes.
land, and now that's the case.
Yeah.
Okay. TNC, 5-man smoke.
Dire's middle tower is under
Gem on the
attack.
clock. Or Gem on the Phoenix, excuse me.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now Liquid, they're going to check out this triangle, but TNC very deep on Liquid's half of the map right now. TNC smoke's about to come to an end. Liquid still got a little longer on theirs, and they do have the high ground around this triangle. We'll see if TNC. Smart moves here from TNC. They you know, with the fact they've made that move, they don't catch any Liquid. They'll scan their own triangle and it hits. They know where Liquid's playing. Liquid, they're going to try and sneak into the road.
So
but
fast.
TNC's going to have a pretty darn good idea of this. It doesn't matter indeed, though. The speed it's taken down by this physical damage of Sumail and the crew means that it's an easy roche here for Liquid. Aegis into the hands of Sumail. He's going to have that shard as well, so that silence from the traps also going to be something that will be quite the nuisance for some of these heroes.
It's funny, I'm just reading all the patch notes on TA's abilities, and they're just also buffed. You're wondering why you're saying TA so much. It's not some secret. Hero just got buffed 5 times in a matter of a couple patches. But Cheese on Koikfa. Looking good for Liquid.
Koifa's caught up a lot. He had a struggle at the start. He was just sitting in that bottom half of the net worth, but he's right up there now, top 3 net worth. 8k lead. They've had a lot of tough games here at the Major Liquid, but here so far, in this one, it looks like things are coming together. Did take the bit of a change up of dynamic, now having Mickey playing the offlane, Mars and Koifa on the carry lone Druid, but they may have found something here that could secure them another victory.
Taiga TPing in after clearing top. Really good just map movements coming out from Liquid to make sure they can safely siege this tower without having to worry about any split push pressure from the Leshrac.
I mean, Boomy and Gabby are looking to try and get him from the back. There is they're trying with the wrap round, but Liquid's prepared. Mickey, he's able to get the jump, the setup, looking for Gabby, but Gabby instantly with the BKB. Make sure that there's nothing else following up after that jump from Mickey.
Yeah, he certainly had the BKB there, but really smart by Liquid to only use the Lion Impale, because that's the bare minimum that would force him to BKB, and if he doesn't, you get the Impale off, use the Arena Spear combo in a reaction, but nothing else committed. And now maybe Liquid can capitalize on that 75-second cooldown BKB, but I also think they were content to keep all of TNC in their base. As you can see exactly why Sumail went for this Ags, as he's able to go immediately top with the ability to come back bottom, similar to an Ember Remnant in this case. And he goes to his triangle. This is more looking like a Nature's Prophet.
That's a big efficiency with this Ags. Level 25. He's going to have it ready for the next fight. It's a huge one. +8 refraction instances. You're talking about the buffs. This is one of the biggest ones that TA got.
Absolutely insane. Super value against the Axe if he gets his BKB off, because there's really no other way to break it in terms of the refraction charges.
Let's see what they can go for here. Liquid still. Time to push on with that Aegis on Sumail. TNC are prepared to defend. See if Liquid can break the basic. Tier 3 tower. It's gone. Mickey is going to look for the jump, but the BKB's already out from Bok. Bok starting to charge in to use this BKB as aggressively as possible. Sumail is got caught in the hook shot as Sumail, he's down the once. Tiger getting called, burnt down, slammed down by the Culling Blade. Buybacks coming in from Liquid. They need to try and help Sumail, but they can't. The stone control comes out. Sumail does not get the chance to pop his BKB. As Sumail goes down, Liquid, they've got to bail, have to get out of there. As TNC hitting hard there with that defense. It didn't matter that there were 2 lives on Sumail. Didn't even matter about the level 25 of the 8 refraction instances. They still killed him off twice very easily. And even with the desperate buybacks from Liquid, nothing they could do to stop that and turn it around. A huge hit there from TNC.
Maybe just a little bit of arrogance coming out from Sumail there, as he had a Dragon Lance in his inventory and a BKB in his backpack while he had the Aegis. And the Aegis respawn is slightly shorter than the 6-second backpack cooldown, so when he comes back to life, just gets immediately stunned and blown up.
You're right, yeah, definite risks to be taking. And not one that paid off. Let's look at this charge from TNC. Gabby, he wants to go for some high ground jumps here. We'll see if anyone pokes their face outside of the base. If they do, Gabby's going to be on them immediately. It's TNC.
Yeah, both teams.
So I mean, the lead that Liquid has, it's starting to drop. They can't afford for any more moves like that to be made here. Sumail has to be protected at all costs. They lose this TA. The fight, even with the farm that Quakefa has, is going to be very hard to clean up, as we are seeing, as you mentioned, just so many ways for TNC to disrupt the flow of Quakefa's bear in the fight. It doesn't matter how much farm he does have. If the bear can't hit the heroes, he's not going to have a great time. Bottom lane, a nice little catch here from Insania and Sumail onto Armel. We'll open them up a 2-minute window where there won't be a Lesh. It could be enough time here to maybe try and force his buyback.
That TA global presence is absolutely insane. Anywhere that has a trap, this might as well be a Techies, but it's a hero that's going to TP in and 3-shot you.
Look at this setup for TNC. This is some big brain stuff there. They're going to get the jump straight for the trees. They're in with the catch on to Sumail. The BKB's out from Bok into the hook shot. They lock down Sumail. He's taken out. A beautiful setup here from TNC in the trees as they move straight over Insania. Sumail, he'll buy back. They're looking for the turnaround. They'll be able to blow up Tims. See if they can chase Bok as well. Sumail, he's got to find something out of this buyback. They move over towards the Bristol. They've got the damage. Bok will fall. Sumail, he's angry there after that jump they make on him. Straight in with the buyback, taking down TNC's 2 big members there as they're ready to go up to high ground. TNC do have buyback. Gabby hiding in the trees. We'll see if they want to come out with a buyback play, because now TNC, sure, there's 3 on the side, but if they get back in, if they kill Sumail, they may have just done enough to end the game in their favor. Booming, he's going to get caught. The TP's coming in. Sumail's got to be careful. Sumail's starting to back off. Quakefa looking to push them back with the fear. It's enough to allow Quakefa the time to TP out and the rest of the crew. Everybody else gets out of there, as they force the 2 buybacks from TNC, and nobody else will get lost on the side of Liquid. They managed to retreat in time very cleanly.
Yeah, both teams operating on pins and needles now. It's not only that they don't have buybacks, but you saw how quickly Armel went down on the Leshrac just by walking over a trap plus a single support stun coming out from Liquid. And then you saw how quickly Sumail died to the burst of TNC. It's just crazy that any time somebody gets caught out here could spell the end. And both teams have immense tower damage, so any kill will be turned into a lot of structural damage.
I see close to some big items here. Armel's going to want to try and get his Bloodstone finished ready, but before the next fight, so he has a bit more sustain with that spell. Lifesteal and that damage. Over on the side of Liquid, Quakefa, he's got the money building up here. 3k gold. See what route he wants to go to. Of course, buybacks are very important at this stage. Gabby has actually smoked it, and maybe seeing if he can get the setup up to... Ooh! Tries to get the jump on Insania, but Insania's already out with an oblique. They get the jump onto Armel. Sumail's in over towards the trap. Commits with the BKB. He's taken down Armel. He's taken down Tims. Gabby in the trees will kill off Insania, but he's got to run. The kiss is connected. Is Gabby going to be able to get his blink off in time? Sumail, he's found him. The call comes out from Gabby. Can Gabby outdo the damage of Sumail? It's going to be close. Backups in here for Sumail as Mickey jumps over, pins down Gabby. Sumail getting the triple. As they are able to do it once again here, Liquid. They keep Sumail safe and fighting fit and make sure he's able to come out on top of these fights. Level 27 now on the TA. Sumail, they might just be ready to push in and punish what is, of course, going to be 1 minute without that Phoenix guarantee. They know Tim's brought back last time round. See how much damage Liquid can get done here with the siege.
I don't know if this is a discount Tinker or the better version of Tinker, as Sumail has bought a super late bottle, has placed a trap at his own fountain, and has used it to go back to base and regen faster than you'd normally be able to by just natural fountain regen. So this is I think it's the upgraded version of Tinker, personally.
I agree, yeah, we've seen some very nice moves from Sumail with this Axe this game. To the point where we may very well see more TAs up the item's priority in their build if this works out. So far, you know, Sumail keeping himself in that top spot and just making so much use of the map.
Yeah, he's even got the Eon disc. That's when you know the situation he's in. As long as I live, we're good. Roche gonna fortunately spawn before Gabby is alive. A refresher shard. Definitely would have preferred the Ags on the side of Liquid. Don't particularly have an amazing refresher shard carrier.
Yeah, they'll just hand it over to Mickey for now. Got a couple of the arenas good to go. Also, here we have it. I mean, Liquid, they want to try and use this Aegis immediately. See if they can smoke up again an aggressive jump onto TNC in the base. They'll have to be careful though. Gabby, of course, still very, very strong.
You can just look at Mickey's inventory. He's so utility-based. I'm pretty sure his most expensive item is a Yule's. It's like 2,800 gold, and he's 6 slotted.
And this is going to give us some potential for some big moves. This Wind Waker that he's pretty much got done. What is he sort of looking at here? Just something to sort of get Sumail or Quakefa out of the combos?
I also think that item looks really cool when you use it on yourself. Something about a moving cyclone is just really adds to the flair.
Yeah.
But he's probably buying it to save his teammates, but a man can dream.
Now we'll see if Mickey is able to start on them with up in the air. TNC not to be deterred by the fact that Liquid have managed to secure these Roshan benefits. They're still pushing out on the map. Constantly using these smokes to try and take advantage of potentially Liquid splitting up, but it's not happening. Liquid, it's the full 5-man bringing around this top lane.
Okay, who's gonna get the jump? That's all that matters.
Could be a risk for TNC trying to take a fight outside of their base here. We'll see if they do just let this tier 2 go. As in, yeah, they will. They're going to wait here to go for the final defense up the high ground. Try their best to protect this last set of racks.
Yeah, Gabby trying to get that level 25, but I don't think he's going to have it in time. Only about halfway there.
He's got a whole lot of money as well. I'll imagine we'll see him spend that up.
Is the strength blink the best when you could just go Octarine Core that we talked about way early on in this game?
Yeah, but then what are you dropping for the Octarine if you want to go for the meme?
Probably Vanguard. The damage block pretty underwhelming at this stage in the game. Could always upgrade that to an Abyssal. That's worth considering.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Well, Abyssal or Overwhelming Blink. Why the Overwhelming Blink?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems pretty underwhelming against heroes like TA that don't take the damage
contrary
from it.
to the name. Yeah.
Pun unintended there.
Liquid. I mean, they're being very careful about how they approach pushing in on this last set. They know that even though they're a decent amount ahead, 17k lead here for Liquid, TNC can still pose quite the threat if they can get these jumps. If Gabby, Gabby's just straight in. He's gonna look for Quakefa, but the Wind Waker's in action. Mickey's able to throw Quakefa up in the air, break the combo of Gabby. Gabby's gone. As Gabby's down for 95, he has got buyback somehow. Pushing in, easily clears out the creep wave. Box BKB comes to an end. That's Gabby out for 90. He may have to buy back it if TNC want to have a chance of holding on to their final set of barracks. It's Liquid, they're going to want to keep pushing in.
That might be the most impactful Wind Waker I've ever seen.
These sort of plays that just get the combos broken as There's the buyback. Finger straight down onto Boomy. Boomy comes back into Armel. He's caught on the front lines. He's trying to charge in, but he's Hex. Gabby comes in with a call, trying to save Armel. Armel, he's rooted though. The bear takes him down as Armel's gone. Boomy hook shotting in straight to the center of them all. The Supernova, they're going to be able to step out of range of it, Liquid. The Supernova catches no one. Mickey, he's ready to get back in. Pins Boomy back against his own cogs. That's Armel. Boomy down. No buyback. Liquid, they've got the space and time to push in to get the Megas and potentially more here against TNC as TNC. Can they do anything with just the three of them? No egg. Gabby, he's heading out, trying to, I guess, get some final bits of farm here. I mean, he's very close to having his blink upgrade. He's still very set on getting that done. But the base is in shambles here as Liquid, they're tearing through the first tier 4. The second one quick to fall. Ancient explode as this should be the game here for Liquid. The bear finishing the throne off. Gabby tries to pull it off with a call. He's not going to get the chance to do so. GG is called. And Liquid, they will find themselves a winner. Look at that celebration from inside. We finally won a game. And they're obviously having a rough time. Every reason to celebrate the little victories here for Liquid. But and a victory it is. They're able to find something. They're able to find a winning formula once again here, BSJ.
Yeah, Gabby doing his best Arteezy impression as he's still farming for next game, but I'm happy for Liquid. TNC, they've pretty much secured to make it through. This was their potential chance at still making the top 2, but Liquid, they probably would have been mathematically out if they lost this second game. So, like Tsunami said, nobody wants to know a team's going to be going home before the last day even starts. So good for Liquid. Happy to see how excited Insania is. Good attitude despite the adversity that they've faced so far this tournament with the underwhelming performance. And the overwhelming blink was the complete opposite of what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, sort of overall, if you're Liquid and you're looking at this game compared to all the other, rough times that they've had here at the major performance-wise, what are you taking away from this game? What was different about this performance that allowed them to get the win? What are you going to try and recreate going forward?
If you're going to pick Lone Druid for Quakefa, put it in the carry role. Give Mickey the offlane. He's quite capable of doing that, and hopefully they can find the solution before they have to go home, as I'm going to throw it back to the panel and see how excited Tsunami is for that win for Liquid.
Thank you very much, BSJ and OD Pixel. And indeed, Team Liquid manages to pull out a win, a much-needed win as well. Tsunami.
Every single time they lose, it's like I mean, everyone's always like talking bad about Europe, and like I just I don't really understand. Like they won 2 TIs, and like wait, they win.
They won.
So you're telling me Europe still has a chance in this group stage, right?
Yes.
You're telling me Alliance is waiting in the playoffs, the best team of Europe. I knew it. I knew this region. They were secure. Life was good. I had never a doubt in my mind. TNC, these intro boys think that they could roll up to my region, think that they know what's what, think that they know heal strats. Have you met Quakefa Lone Druid in your entire life? Have you ever seen a Lone Druid? No, because your region never picks it. I'm feeling great.
I'm glad to hear it,
Jenkins,
Tsunami.
you want a hit of this?
I'm good. I'm good. I'll take that after EG gets knocked out.
Also, if they do lose, if they would have lost, they still have some tiebreaker scenarios, but they are not in that situation. They have one more series to play. They're going to play again against Team Spirit, which is a very important series because Team Spirit, Beast Coast, and Team Liquid, even though Team Liquid just won, they're still the 3 teams. 2 of those teams are going home. The other one does not, so we'll find out which one that is later. But for now, we got to talk about what Team Liquid did right and how Lone Druid was successful. Why did we doubt this all along, James? Why did we doubt Team Liquid's draft? I definitely doubted Team Liquid's draft.
Well, the Lone Druid, I think we've seen this exact kind of drafting style throughout the tournament. When a team has their back against the wall, they go back to the absolute comfort picks. We have teams picking Tiny and these 20% win rate heroes. Slocks saying there's a 10,000% likelihood they're going to lose, and then they win. And that's exactly what seemed to happen here today with Liquid. Literally everybody on Reddit in the Reddit thread is like, they're out, they're gone.
Hey,
Team
that
is
was
shit.
me as well, right?
And I saw Shiva in there on her Reddit Smurf. Not good. She was very
Don't
visceral.
reveal my secrets.
Sorry, all right. It wasn't Shiva. It was probably somebody else.
So things go well for Liquid here. Is it because Axe is a one-trick pony as a carry? What got figured out from TNC? Because I see these heroes, even still looking at the draft, even if I like took away the team names, I'm still favoring TNC's draft heavily. So I'm surprised that the Axe was not able to carry so much in the late game.
You know, I think Sumail had a really good lane. I think his early game was great. They actually had a stack farmer this time, which we talked about during the draft. That was pretty important, I think, because, you know, you have these really inactive mids. You just have inactive heroes in general being picked all across the board, at least inactive in the first, 5 to 15 minutes of the game. And this is the perfect time to go and farm up those ancient stacks. So, you know, maybe Liquid just would look better if they do this exact sort of thing. Maybe this has been the problem for them. They're not picking ancient farmers.
Yeah, which is also kind of, they're not really picking ancient stackers either. Coddle used to be one of the go-tos. Oh my god, they were so happy.
They were
so happy.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, rightfully so, right? The team has looked bad until this game. Yes, they took one game start of the tournament. Were able to get one tie against, I believe, Beast Coast, and since then they've just been losing.
Yeah,
it's been a downward trajectory.
It's been bad. Like mentally, that is draining. So a win like this, very needed. And I mean, they get it on Lone Druid. We talked earlier about how the Axe Phoenix, the kind of tanky core sustain, is kind of the trend right now.
yeah.
And how Team Liquid was like a step behind. Does this draft, does this game mean that they are on par / a step ahead, or is it at least comfort zone, be happy one win and take it from there?
I think it's closer personally. Like I think it's very difficult for a team within a series to completely 360 their draft and do a completely different thing. Of course, that would be a 360. And but with that being said, I think they just played this game really well.
360, you're back.
I think they just played this
360
game.
and then they moonwalked.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think they just played this game really well, ignoring these comments.
Yeah, which, I mean, like, if nothing else, one of the things that I was theorizing is that with Boxy not being here, for a team that has played the second most games of all time of any 5-man roster, that has to take a dent in your mental capacity and like how you're able to recover from losses like this or even succeed after wins. And so them not having that and being backs against the wall, going for comfort with Koikfa Lone Druid, giving Sumail something that has not necessarily been successful for them the entire tournament, and them getting a win here, I hope that's a sign of future success, because they got to go up against Spirit, and that's the series that really matters, because that's the one that can truly determine.
I like how it looks like you're having opium there.
I can smell the vacuum from me. That is not a clean vacuum that he's doing
feed,
this.
what you're talking about.
This bit is costly for him.
It's the purest of the pure. Oh, thank God this region's still alive.
Forgot about Nigma, who's playing next.
Oh yeah, they got
They're
this
doing
under
extremely well.
Life's
Europe's
good.
fine. Leave them.
fine.
Let's take
Who
a look at
cares?
the
They're fine.
standings and see how indeed all the teams have been doing. For TNC, this was their last series of today. Team Liquid will still play against Team Spirit on the Dire stream after this. Team Nigma also is one series behind with everybody else together with EG, and they will be playing up against each other after this on this stream. PSG.LGD, the only team that is secured. They are upper bracket playoffs, guaranteed. Nothing can take that away from them. They only have one series left, which is Vici Gaming. So we still have the kind of battle for the top going on, where Team Nigma, Vici Gaming still have a good shot there. And then we have a battle for the bottom as well with Team Spirit, Team Liquid, and Beast Coast. The bottom three. But you only need 2 at the bottom to be eliminated, and the next series on the other team, Team Spirit Liquid, is going to be potentially a decider series in that one, so make sure to check that out as well.
I didn't really think that the group stage would play out like this. I thought after day 2 things may change, but this is kind of where we were at the beginning of day 3 also. And so the favorites continue to win. and those who were struggling still kind of continuing to struggle. But I think a split in this series was unexpected. After how Liquid ended yesterday,
Yes.
and how TNC were doing yesterday, I thought for sure this was
And
gonna be a
after
2-0.
game 1.
And after, it was a rough game 1, but we're here now, baby.
It really was a rough one, but they don't get a time to relax. They're going to go straight ahead again for the next series, and so are we. We are moving on to Team Nigma versus EG, so get ready for that one. We'll be back after this.
Change arrangement.
Every event is a part of esports history, full of memorable moments every fan wants to be a part of. Get your own unique piece of esports with WePlay collectibles. Here is the first collection, Storyline. Logo token, trophy token, story token. Be sure to check all the details on our website and stay tuned for cool NFTs from WePlay Esports.
Buy the official merchandise for WePlay AniMajor 2021 now on fragstore.com. Hoodies, t-shirts, mouse pads, headrest pillows, and other souvenirs were released in the limited edition for the tournament. Hurry up and buy them on fragstore.com via the link in the description or chatbot.
WePlay staff and all the teams are tested twice per week. Masks, gloves, and sanitizers. Daily temperature measurement. Bactericidal air recirculation systems in practice rooms. 24-hour first aid station with a doctor and a nurse always on